Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Claremont, Florida, with a very playful puppy. All she wants to do is play. She's got Bessie, and she's wrapping Bessie around her head. How was your day today? How did your daily challenges go? I had a super fantastic sparkling day, but first of all, let's do a challenge recap. Mindset appreciation. So one of my calls I had today was an accountability call with my accountability partner for the book, hang on, I have to put it up here, Super Attractor, hang on, there you go, by Gabrielle Bernstein. And the chapter we were doing today was chapter 9. That's the top one we're up to. We've got 2 chapters left to go, 10 and 11. And chapter 9 is called Appreciate and Appreciate More. And there was this one passage in here that got me thinking about everything that's happened to me in my life, and got me thinking about the situation we're currently in, and how I've been trying to get you guys to appreciate the situation that we're currently in. Some of you do, some of you don't. It's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't mind. You can be right, you can be wrong. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Whatever way, if you think you're right, and that's it. If you're, what is it? That's what it is. If you're right, you're right. If you're not, then I don't remember what that saying was. Anyway, back to this. So here it says, even the tough times can be seen through this lens. And we're talking about appreciation, remember? Hang on, where is it? We spend a lot of time focusing on what we're experiencing rather than how we're experiencing it. We forget we can change our experience of anything simply by changing our point of focus. Any situation can be experienced with more love when we choose to see it through the lens of appreciation. Even the tough times can be seen through this lens. When you choose a perspective of appreciation, you can find great growth opportunities instead of remaining a victim of your experience. Think about that. I love that last bit. Even the tough times can be seen through this lens of appreciation. When you choose a perspective of appreciation, you can find great growth opportunities instead of remaining the victim of your experience. So how are you experiencing these times we're in right now? Are you are you focusing on what we're experiencing rather than how we're experiencing it? Are you looking at it through the eyes of appreciation? I know that there's a pandemic going on. I know that everybody's got their own opinions about it, and please don't get me wrong when I say this, but I truly am grateful for the times that we're in right now. It's given us all the time I'm grateful for the pause that it has given us, and I keep talking about this over and over again, because basically, some people can't work right now. They're spending more time with their families than they've ever spent with before, and their families are growing stronger because of it. Yes, there are some families that are on edge because they're suddenly around everybody and under everybody's feet 24/7, but they find ways to embrace that time, embrace it, be appreciative of the time. I know it's a tough time right now for some people, but be appreciative of the time that you're in. All through Brad's cancer journey, for 9 years, 8 months, and 3 days, I was grateful every single day. Even the day he passed, it was a super fantastic, sparkling day. And you may think I am absolutely nuts. I just lost my husband. But here's the thing. I wrote on the whiteboard next to his bed in the living room there. I wrote on the board on the Saturday, I wrote, no matter what happens, today is always super fantastic and sparkling. And after he had passed at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting there next to his body, after the caregiver had come and woken me up, I'm out there sitting next to his body, and of course crying because my heart's breaking. My husband has gone to another plane of existence. And I looked up at the board, and the only words I saw on that board was today is always super fantastic and sparkling. And it suddenly hit me that today was super fantastic and sparkling. And all of a sudden I was grateful for the fact that my husband was no longer in pain. He was no longer having to deal with a body that was broken beyond repair by cancer. He fought to his dying breath to stay with me, but the body got broken so much by cancer that his spirit couldn't live there anymore. So it had to move to another plane. Yes, I was heartbroken, but I was also extremely grateful for the time that I had with him during this whole experience. And I was grateful for the journey that I was about to embark on. I was grateful that he was no longer in pain, he was no longer sick, he was now free. He had been reunited with Gus after, 90-something days. I mean, he hadn't seen Gus since the 23rd of June, and Gus passed on the 6th of September, and then Brad went 18 days later on the 24th. And during that, from the 23rd of June, Brad never got to see Gus again in person. We tried it, it didn't work, and as soon as I told Gus that we weren't going to the hospital that day, he was gone 2 weeks later. He just went downhill his health went downhill fast at that point. But I know that Gus was there on the other side to welcome Brad home. And Bear was there as well, which is our dog before Gus. So I am thankful that he's been reunited with his family that had gone before him, that had been reunited with his dogs that were there, that had gone before him. So I was heartbroken that he had gone physically, but I knew spiritually he was still with me, and I was just grateful for the experiences that I'd had with him, the life that I'd had with him. We'd had over 20 years together, and we'd been married for almost 19 of those. And I was grateful for every single minute of it. And he always said to me, he said, "Would you could go back and change anything, would you ever do it?" And I always told him no. He says, "Not even me getting cancer?" I said, "Not even you getting cancer." And the first time he asked me that, he looked at me and went, "Why?" He says, "After all we've been through, you wouldn't change it?" I went, "Nope, not one moment." And he says, "Why?" I says, "I am grateful for the journey that we are on, the journey that we have been on, because we would not be the people we are today had we not been through that journey." And I said, "Look at all the friends that we have made, look at the stuff that is, all the blessings that have been poured upon us because of this cancer journey that we had been on." And it made him stop and think. And as I said in his eulogy on the day of his funeral, I said, if he asked me that question today, I said, if you would ask me that question today, the only thing I would ask for was more time. But I know that he's in a better place, and I am grateful for that. I am grateful for where our lives took us, the experiences we got to experience. I am grateful for this point in time, even though I'm stuck in the hot, humid Florida, but I'm grateful for that. Believe it or not, I'm actually grateful for the heat and the humidity right now, because it means I have to stay inside and get stuff done. I wouldn't be able to clear my project board so frequently. See my project board behind? Where are we? Hang on. There we go. That's my project board for this coming week. And I don't know how many times it's been cleared since where I have been sitting here in Claremont. And had it been just a gorgeous day outside and we weren't confined, we weren't in a stay in place orders or anything out there. I mean, even with a gorgeous day outside, I would have been out walking more around the campground and everything else. But because of the heat and the humidity and the high allergy index here, I've been inside in the air conditioning unit and only having to go outside when I absolutely have to. Like to take Zephy for walks, to go pick up groceries, just those essential errands that we've had to run. It's allowed me to get that stuff organized. It's allowed me to open a new business. It's allowed me to reevaluate my other business, my travel business, and reformat that. So I have been very blessed, and I'm very grateful for this giant pause this global pause that we have right now, where we can take the time now to do the things we want to do. I would not have got that new business started or been able to reformat my existing business had it not been for this pause, because I would have been too busy traveling and exploring. There's a lot of people in this RV park who are taking the opportunity of this pause to renovate their RVs, do some repairs, do some maintenance work. And in talking with them, they've said, we haven't had time to do this, but it's something we've been wanting to do for ages, but we haven't had the time to do it because we've been too busy traveling and exploring. So are you focusing on what you're experiencing rather than how you're experiencing it? So look at how you are experiencing this time. Are you looking at it with a negative attitude? Or are you looking at it through the eyes of appreciation and love? And when you do that, a whole new world opens up to you. It is just absolutely magical when you are in a state of appreciation. And this chapter on appreciate and appreciate more was, even though my mirror in the bedroom says begin each day with a grateful heart, I wake up every morning, I see that, and I start listing things that I'm grateful for. This chapter, and as I'm going through the day, I'm always thankful for things that happen to me, people that I meet, that I get to talk with, things I get to do, projects I get crossed off, the stuff on my to-do list that gets crossed off, I'm grateful I get to do that. The walks I take with Zephy, I'm grateful for that. In fact, one walk last night, this is really cool. This is kind of cool. My writer's group's going to be a little shocked about this piece that I've written. But I was walking back last night, and there was this scene, it was just I was just looking around, as I usually do when I'm walking. I'm not looking at Zephy, just look up, look around, see what's going on. And I caught this one scene in front of me that was happening right there and then. And it inspired me so much that I came back and wrote a short story. Now it's either going to stay as a short story or be incorporated into a bigger story, it'll be incorporated and expanded into a scene in a book. I don't know yet, but I'm going to throw it out there to my writers group on Tuesday, see what they think of it. It's around 700 words. And there's a lot packed into that thing, and I'm quite proud of the piece that I wrote. And I'm grateful that I got to see that scene, to see what I saw that inspired me to come back and write that piece. So, always be looking for things to be grateful for. And even though I'm grateful for a lot of things, I was reading this today, or reading it over the week, because we take a week, we're talking about it today. And there was it was like an eye-opener for me. And I thought, man, I thought I already was grateful for stuff. Hell no. I mean, it even talks in here about sitting down and journaling. Where did it say that? 3 to 5 pages in your journal once a day of things that you're grateful for. I'm like, oh my gosh, if somebody tells me I have to write a list of 10, I can do that, but to write 10 different things every day, I do struggle with that. Especially if you have to put why. And then my accountability partner gave me 3 awesome questions today. Where are they? I wrote them up here. And the 3 awesome questions that she asks herself every day, and I'm going to start doing this too. And thank you, Elder, for these questions. It says, what surprised me today? What inspired me today? And what touched my heart today? I thought those are 3 incredible questions, and if I ask myself those each night and put them into my journal, man, can you imagine how grateful and full of love that you are after doing that? But this chapter was, I appreciate a lot. I send a lot of thank you notes, thank you cards and all that sort of stuff to a lot of different people, just thanking them for being the awesome person they are and that sort of stuff. But this opened my eyes up. This chapter, Appreciate and Appreciate More, just opened my eyes up so much more to the power of appreciation and about staying in that mindset no matter what you're going through. Stay in that mindset no matter what. And as I was reading it, things were jumping back into things that had happened in my life, like, this whole journey with Brad. Even though tough times can be seen through this lens of appreciation, when you choose a perspective of appreciation, you can find great opportunities instead of remaining a victim of your experience. I refuse to be a victim of anything. So to be able to appreciate the moments that I'm in and the stuff that's happened to me, the things that I have experienced and has turned me into the person that I am today, and be able to have the thought process that I do and be creative as I am. I mean, I've been more creative these last few days than I have in a long time, and I truly am grateful for that. So, okay, so that was my recap on appreciation for your mindset today. So go out, be grateful. If you want to, you can always grab this book. The Super Attractor, Gabriella Bernstein's, is chapter 9 on appreciation. It is a phenomenal chapter. And my accountability partner told me that Rhonda Bryan, who wrote The Secret, The Power, Magic, and Hero, there's 4 books in the Secret series. She says the book on magic, or the magic book, the one that she wrote called Magic, is all about appreciation. So I have that book in I think it's under the bed. I keep my books under the bed. There's a nice little locker, nice little area under the bed. I keep books in there. I have that book in there, so I'm going to go dig that out and start reading it as soon as I finish Super Attractor. So I've got 2 more weeks left, because we're on to chapter 10 this coming week, and then the following week is chapter 11, which is the last chapter in the book. And then I will probably start on Magic, or maybe we'll find another book to read together, because it's been awesome reading a book with somebody else and having to be accountable about the fact that you did read it and you did do I didn't do the meditations and the exercises. I was a bit lax on that part, but I intend to improve, because I know that I will be grateful for the experience that I have through the meditation exercises. And then on accountability, so I had my accountability call with my book partner, and I also had an accountability call with my accountability coach, and she got an email today with what my goals are for this week. And as you can see, my project board is looking a little full, and I still have, where is it? And I have another project that I wrote up that I still have to stick it up for, and I'm like, yeah, we might have to do some shuffling around on there to fit it in. So I had a great accountability call on that. I am on fire. And she looked at my list and she says, and when are you traveling? I said, sometime next week. She says, where are you going? I says, I don't know. So I'm leaving here sometime next week. I have to look at my schedule. I have blocked out my days next week so nobody can go into my scheduling system and book into next week. It's going to have to be manually done. They'll have to contact me and have to be manually done so that I can figure out, because I need to figure out what my traveling days are going to be and take it from there. And then what else was there? Oh, and did you attempt to bake a new recipe? I did not get a chance to do any baking today. I still have to figure out how to ignite my oven. I do have my Instapot out because I'm going to do some more eggs, but I don't know if I can bake in that. Might have to try that. I mean, I have all the stuff to do the baking. I just don't know how to operate my oven. Well, once it's on, I'll be able to work it because I know how to turn the knobs and get the temperatures and stuff, and I've got the oven thermometer to go in there. I just don't know how to light the thing, so I have to go find the user manual for it. But so how did your day go? Mine was super fantastic and sparkling. I've got a dog that's oh, she's up on the windowsill now. I posted a picture on her page today about what she did in less than 5 minutes to Bessie. There's stuffing everywhere. And then I decided this afternoon I was going to go and take a nap, and so she comes to nap with me, and she curls up next to me, and I'm like, I have a comforter that I pull up over me because the AC's on and it's a little cold when you're laying down in the bedroom. And so I just pulled the comforter up over me, and she ended up being underneath it, and she curled up and she stuck a little paws out from underneath. It was quite funny. And she never stays under there. And then afterwards, and then I was just dozing as she gets out, she crawls out from underneath the comforter, and it was really funny because then she jumps off the bed and I was just at the point of dozing off. The next thing I hear is and she comes back with her tennis squeaky ball, and she's sitting on the bed there with this tennis ball, and I'm like, oh crap. So I tossed it a couple of times for her, and you know, she went and fetched it and brought it back to me, and we played fetch for a little bit, and I thought, right, I desperately need to have a power nap. And so I tucked it under my pillow, and she was like, where's it gone? So I got my nap. She went and got Bessie. I woke up, there's stuffing all over the bed. And I thought, oh, jeepers. Got to pick up all the stuffing, otherwise it's going to get in the sheets. And so I was laying there, and I had the ball on it. So I started playing with her. I had the ball under the comforter with me, and I would squeak it behind my back, squeak it in front of me, and she was up and she's trying to find this ball. Like, she's looking all around for it, but didn't figure out how to get under the comforter to try and find it. And even if I put my hand out from under the comforter and showed her the ball and squeaked it and then pulled it back under again, she would look at where it had disappeared under, but hadn't worked out that, oh, I can actually go under there. So she's still learning a lot of stuff, but and I figured that she's also, besides growing tall, a little, like an inch or two taller over the last few months, she's also grown about an inch or two longer, because she barely fits into her crate when she's laying down on her side now. When I first bought her that crate, she was able to fit in there, and her nose would just, and she would have her butt against one bumper of the bed that's in there, and her nose would be resting on the bumper at the other end. Well, now she's got her butt up against the bumper there, and her entire head is on and over the bumper at the other end. So she's definitely growing some, and I was told when I took her into the vet when she was 8.5 months old that she was basically fully grown. Well, she's now 32 pounds and at least an inch or two longer and taller than she was. And there's some dogs walking around outside that are driving her nuts right now. She's running up and down trying to find windows to look at them. And there must be people out there talking, because she does that as well. But anyway, that's it from me for today. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I will put the titles of the books that I mentioned tonight in the description of the video, and so that you'll be able to go and look them up and all of that sort of stuff. So have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys tomorrow morning with your challenges of the day. He konera!